Combined texture is when you are taking a pre-existing texture and adding a second texture to it. This is most commonly found in additive texture, where you've added a texture. So for example, the bricks, I've already added the brick texture, but now, like the actual physical bricks, but then I want to add like an impressed texture into that to make the bricks themselves have texture. So I may take a paintbrush, the bristles of a paintbrush, and press them into the brick to create this subtle texture. But now I have two textures existing within one. So right here, again, it's very subtle, but there are these very faint little dots now all over my brick texture. This would be the same as if I wanted to subtract texture from additive texture. So if I have these spheres over here and I wanted to now carve away, I could create subtractive texture on top of them. If I repetitively carved grooves away, each of the little spheres would have their own individual texture. And again, I could do that all over repetitively. Another texture would be if I wanted to press into this one. I now have put an impressed texture directly into my additive texture by pressing the clay repeatedly. So now there's a repetitive impression as well as this repetitive additive texture happening. And this can be in any way. You could even do two different types of impressed textures together. As I did on my impressed tile, I could also take my subtractive tile and go in and create a little additive texture within my repetitive carve marks, or I could go in and impress a tiny teeny design into some of the carve marks that are already pre-existing to create combined texture.